greatness that night. It's about the fight. It ain't about the champion. It's about the fight. That's all I care about, the fight.
Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is...
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis.
I'm unsure whether Lamont Roach truly exposed Tank Davis's flaws, but Gervonta Davis's coach Calvin Ford didn't hold back at the rematch press conference. He said, "It's over. They'll soon witness who the real champion is in the ring." Ford's assertive and confident remarks made it clear that he has unwavering belief in Gervonta's skill, preparation, and superiority inside the ring.
And sit there and say to themselves like they came from a karate movie, man, I want to fight just like Tank. I want to be just like Tank.
I want to be just like Tank. Gervonta Davis is approaching this highly anticipated rematch with laser focus and commitment. Fully aware of what's at stake for his legacy and career, he has left no part of his training neglected. Each session is thoughtfully designed to build strength and enhance precision. Davis intends to correct earlier mistakes and return stronger. His team is all in, knowing this battle could redefine his standing in boxing.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for...
Gervonta Davis's reconnection with Coach Calvin Ford has injected fresh energy into his training camp. Their bond, rooted in history, loyalty, and understanding, remains central to Davis's evolution. Ford has been instrumental throughout Davis's journey, transforming his raw ability into a powerful blend of strategy and aggression. With this reunion, they've reignited both emotional drive and tactical focus, ensuring every step of preparation aligns with their championship aspirations.
Match, do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing
To Davis, the rematch means more than another match. It's a mission to restore pride. Critics raised doubts after the first fight, casting shadows on his reputation and dominance. This bout becomes a pivotal opportunity to erase that doubt. A decisive win would re-establish Davis's place at Boxing Summit and show that prior flaws were uncharacteristic, not defining. For Tank, this fight is personal, professional, and profoundly important.
Lamont Roach, he feels that he won. Like, do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, let's work on a deal to where we could get in there within the next 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, I agree there.
In their first fight, Davis revealed cracks that hadn't surfaced in earlier performances. His usually solid defense seemed porous, and his stamina diminished with each round. Roach capitalized on these flaws, delivering punches that interrupted Davis's flow and confidence. Observers and analysts alike noticed the dip, suggesting he wasn't at his best. Now Davis gets another shot to confront those lapses and prove what he's truly capable of.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused, and he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch. And when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that fight.
Following the bout, Davis openly spoke about the psychological burden he carried. He admitted that the stress and mental fatigue undermined his focus and effort. The experience rattled his spirit, even leading him to consider retirement. His candid acknowledgement of seeking therapy exposed the emotional depth of his struggles. It became evident that the fight affected him far beyond the physical outcome and highlighted the mental challenges fighters face.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on
Davis has completely overhauled his training atmosphere for the upcoming clash. Every movement and sparring round now carries urgency and accuracy. His footwork has become far more agile and grounded, and his reflexes are quicker, helping him read and counter more efficiently. Gone is the laid-back approach, replaced by razor-sharp concentration. It's clear Davis treats this bout as a critical opportunity that demands nothing less than total dedication.
Yeah, started closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
This rematch's significance goes beyond rankings or championship belts. The draw left Davis with bruised pride and raised questions about his boxing legacy. That personal setback now drives a burning hunger for redemption. He's fighting for more than just victory. He's fighting for respect and recognition. For Davis, this match is a test of identity and honor, fueled by a need to reaffirm his greatness to everyone watching.
We got to talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. But the fact that he went toe to toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, Whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that and be like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
In their initial clash, Davis's team had deeply studied Roach's methods and crafted a strategic game plan. They hoped to expose gaps in Roach's approach, but things didn't unfold as planned inside the ring. While the concept was sound, execution faltered. This time, they're sticking with their blueprint but refining every element. Their focus now lies on sharper delivery, tighter tactics, and sustained pressure during key phases of the fight.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida. Okay.
Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Just hit the gears a little harder. That's all. He hit the gears hard enough the last time, but boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people. Anybody saw that first fight that you little lost, they don't know boxing.
If Jalil is successful in this fight, what do you guys expect for Jalil? And then, obviously Eddie Hearn had a lot to say when Jalil took that loss.
Teofimo Lopez shared insight on the aftermath of the contentious first bout. He noted how Davis seemed abandoned post-fight, with critics quick to challenge his legitimacy. Lopez emphasized how such widespread scrutiny can harm a boxer's confidence and image. His remarks highlighted the psychological pressure Davis now carries. This upcoming bout is not just about redemption. It's about restoring his reputation and regaining the boxing world's trust.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm gonna talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you're winning, they're gonna be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
This rematch is monumental for both Davis and Roach. It presents a rare chance to erase doubts and assert their rightful place in the sport. Dodging the fight would leave unresolved questions and stain their legacies. Both fighters realize that this event will be heavily judged and remembered. That mutual awareness has intensified their determination, and their preparation now reflects the gravity and consequences tied to the outcome.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis. First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day, but I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in camp for real. Cause me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like talking shit and everything like that, cause that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. But everything else, he made me believe in camp for real. Cause me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like talking shit and everything like that, cause that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they seen for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod.
Absolutely. Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lesson though?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? But you gotta just do, it seemed like, cause I feel like he did, not only did he shock the world, it's like, I guess you just gotta do more on top of that. Like, you just gotta do more, I guess.
Roach turned heads with his measured and strategic performance in the first showdown. His composure and calculated tactics proved he belonged on the biggest stage, matching Davis blow for blow. His smart game plan occasionally forced Davis into retreat, winning him admiration from fans and analysts. Heading into the rematch, Roach seeks to fine-tune that formula, boosting his speed, accuracy, and focus in pursuit of an undeniable statement-making victory.
If Tank became a ballsy fighter, which he's never been, according to everybody in the DC and Maryland area, you know, like,
but
now it's all coming out. It's all coming out. It's already been known before, but we never got to see it because nobody pushed Tank.
There were points early in that fight. I thought Tank was out hustling Lamont. He was, you know, Lamont wasn't taking charge early on, and Gervonta, who's normally, yeah, sure, but he was getting hit with straight left hands and getting turned and hit with straight left. His nose and mouth are red.
But he wants you to. But that's the thing. What Tank does, what Teddy Atlas yelled at Michael Moore about. Tank wants to be able to hit you and hope you leave him alone. And when you don't do that, he starts to fade and fold.
Okay,
that's not championship caliber mentality.
We're talking about two guys who weren't big punchers. Okay, 12 rounds, I can hit you and make you miss, and hit you and make you miss, and hit you.
But I can keep the game plan. You can keep the game plan.
So what if Gervonta goes out there and shows his boxing?
Let's compare it to, say, a Tommy Morrison, who used to blow you away, but if he couldn't, he was gone after he was gassed out after a few rounds. There's a mentality where.
But Tank's not that guy we saw against Isak Cruz. He was able.
Okay, now and even there, Isak Cruz. Looking back now, even Valenzuela outboxed Isak Cruz.
Okay,
dude,
but
I mean, come on.
But did he do
apply of the trade? Listen, it happens.
Well, we don't know exactly.
We don't know. Did he get surgery after the Isak Cruz fight? No,
I don't know. Maybe I had a ton of surgeries. I had a ton of surgeries that the public knew nothing about. So I don't know.
I mean, they kind of know.
So Paulie,
you can see where you can see hand surgery scars. See my scars? I got a tic-tac-toe board all over my hand. When you get surgery, you can see that.
But Paulie, his argument, and you guys are on different sides of it in a different way, where he says tactically there's more to add to Gervonta. Gervonta could have done things that he didn't do.
Physically, there's a lot he's capable
you see it mentally.
Yes.
Is that harder to deal with?
I believe so, because physically, Gervonta has all the goods. That's why he's sold as the product he sold at. You look at Gervonta physically, speed, athleticism, power, timing,
ability to change direction.
If this guy has balls, he's really a pound for pound fighter that everybody claims he is. But because he doesn't have balls, I don't know that he's even a pound for pound fighter. I don't even know that he would be a lightweight champion if they didn't mix and match his opponents accordingly. You know what I'm saying? He probably shouldn't even be a lightweight champion now because Lamont Roach beat him the other week.
I got a great saying. So you always say, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah.
If
Shakur Stevenson, who has sparred with Roach, offered a detailed assessment of his skill set. Stevenson applauded Roach's defensive IQ and how it neutralized Davis's strengths. His endorsement lent weight to Roach's credibility as a serious threat. Stevenson's belief in Roach's abilities underscores the razor-thin margins in this rematch. If Davis hopes to win, he must overcome a sharper, more polished opponent. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more.